Hello, 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 good people. Hello, good people. I am Dr. Hollie Kelly, and this is the last Thoughtful Thursday in October. It is October 31st, and it is a Thoughtful Thursday. Okay, I've often said that I typically never used to keep book covers. I would always take them off, and this is no exception. So the book cover has long been gone. Thank you for all who are joining me. This week's Thoughtful Thursday selection is one I think may be new to you. It is Stop Being Niggardly. Niggardly. Okay, that is an adjective being used as an adjective. The word niggard, Niggard, is a word that means stingy, cheap, small minded. And so the author, Miss Karen Hunter, Stop Being Niggardly is this week's selection. And I've had the book for several years now. And I look back today, she wrote the book in 1990. So here we are. No. I take that back. Not 1990. She wrote it in 2010 because it's almost 10 years old. Oh, JB, you just doing your thing, girl, over there in Russia. Okay. Be safe. Enjoy. But Stop Being Niggardly by Karen Hunter is this week's Thoughtful Thursday selection, and it is one that will make you pause and think. Now, Karen Hunter is an author, she's a speaker, she's a radio personality on Sirius XM. And I could probably safely say, hey Jean, probably safely say that she is a controversial. She can be controversial. Hey, Ms. Mina, thank you for all who are jumping on. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Um, and so Stop Being Niggardly is one of her books. She's an author. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure she's a Pulitzer Prize winner. She is also a professor of literature at Hunter College in New York. So the reason I chose this book, the reason I even bought the book, I was listening to her on the talk show, on the radio show, and she mentioned the reason behind her book. Her book is based off of a set of letters from an author, prior slave, Nannie Helen Burroughs. Nannie Helen Burroughs wrote a book well, it wasn't even a book. She wrote a paper in 1890. In 1890, entitled The 12 Things the Negro, oh, let me make sure I got the title right. 12 Things the Negro Must Do to Succeed. I think that was the whole title of it. But 12 Things the Negro Must Do, not to succeed. Nannie Helen Burroughs, 12 Things the Negro Must Do. And so Karen Hunter, prolific reader, came along and she was introduced to Nannie Helen Burroughs in, about 2009 or so. Anyway, she got and read the 12 Things the Negro Must Do. And for me, so she puts her book in the back. But for me, the reason it was such a powerful read was because Nannie Helen Burroughs wrote this in 1890. 1890. This woman was well ahead of her time. And the obstacles were galore. And so, though the book is entitled Stop Being Niggardly, and Nannie Helen Burroughs is Burroughs, 12 Things the Negro Must Do, 1890. But Stop Being Niggardly by Karen Hunter is this week's selection. And I just want to bring a few excerpts out of it because I'm hopeful that, first of all, the title doesn't throw you off and says, oh my goodness, we're still talking about that. Yes, we are. And more importantly, the rationale. Like I said, it's almost 10 years old, so some of the things are dated, but in compilation with yesterday's perspective about old school things. Some things do not go out of style. Some truths remain. Truths are foundational. Facts change. Okay, but truths are foundational. And she just talks just straight, plain, good old English about what it is applicable to a lot of different ethnicities, but she is unashamedly pro-black, and that does not make her anti-white per se or anti any other ethnicity, but she is unashamedly, unabashedly pro-black and looking at the African American community, and from her perspective, hitting on things that need to change, that need to be strengthened, that need to be revitalized, that need to be remembered and applied. But she does say, she says, this book is much more of a tough love letter to my people than it is a finger wagging exploration into what I think is wrong with Black folks. Okay, so she just puts that up there up front. But just some of the titles. Stop devaluing yourself. And I'm telling you, you can see it's not a long read at all. This week's Thoughtful Thursday selection, Stop Being Niggardly by Karen Hunter. Niggardly, cheap, stingy. Okay, and even at the very end, she says, being niggardly or cheap or stingy guarantees you will always be in lack. You may keep your money, but I'll bet you have shortages in other areas of your life. Stop being niggardly. Stop cheating yourself out of the blessings you're supposed to have by focusing on the things you don't have, by looking at what others have and what others are doing instead of being excellent. Instead of being excellent and following your own path and your own purpose. So many underlines in here. Don't hate the player or the game, just learn the rules and play. Okay, you wasting time being a hater. Go learn the rules of the game and play. And again, she may say things, not may, she will say things in here that make you say, ooh, wow, yikes, ouch. There are going to be things in here that you absolutely do not agree with, but I still think it is worth your read. Stop Being Niggardly. Karen Hunter is this week's Thoughtful Thursday selection. Okay, but let me introduce you to Nannie Helen Burroughs in 1890. Okay, so she wrote 12 mini lessons, like half of a page. Where my little peepers at? Like half of a page. In 1890, this was well ahead of her time when women and definitely African Americans, Blacks, Negroes did not have a voice, and yet she chose to use hers. She had no money, but she was massively wealthy in will and the desire to help her people do better. She started a school. She started a school. She wrote this in 1890 when we had no voice. What Burroughs understood more than 100 years ago, which many people still don't get, is that freedom is not something people can deny you. True freedom, true success, and prosperity are generated within a people having standards and a commitment to excellence. Listen to this. Having a standard and a commitment to excellence can defy any attempt to discredit or discriminate. Okay, Burroughs didn't have much money, but she had heart and she had drive, and she took a job as an office building janitor and later as a bookkeeper for a manufacturing company, and she scraped and she saved and she started this school. So my time is almost up. Once again, please Stop Being Niggardly by Karen Hunter, and she also incorporates Nannie Helen Burroughs' 12 Things the Negro Must Do from 1890 into her book, and she does commentary on it. So just real quick, some of Nannie Helen Burroughs' topic headings. The Negro must learn to put first things first, and the first things are education, development of character traits, a trade, and a home ownership. And so and Karen Hunter says that many people would say and agree that even before your education and character traits is your place with God, your relationship with God. The Negro must stop expecting God and white folks to do for him what he can do for himself. This was Nanny Helen Burroughs in 1890. 1890. Okay. So she was saying the Negro will have to do exactly what Jesus told the man to do in John 5:8. Carry his own load. Take your bed up and walk. Okay. So just, okay, my little time is already gone. And Nanny Helen Burroughs was just telling some stuff. Lesson number 5, the Negro must make his religion an everyday practice and not just a Sunday to go to meet an emotional affair. Okay, my time is already gone, but I am strongly encouraging you, African Americans who listen and are listening and will listen, and all other ethnicities, because you can apply some of these same foundational truths. Stop Being Niggardly by Karen Hunter is this week's Thoughtful Thursday selection. And she rounds it out from Nanny Helen Burroughs' 1890 selection of 12 Things the Negro Must Do. That is my selection. I am hopeful. If you do go get it, if you pick up Karen Hunter's Stop Being Niggardly, please let me know your thoughts and your ouch moments. Okay, thank you for joining me. Be safe tonight. Make this a thoughtful Thursday. And until next time, take real good care of yourselves.